So I want to share a few thoughts about delegating, because if you're in the middle of a growing business and you don't delegate, that business won't be growing anymore. For me, I've yet to meet an entrepreneur that has actually mastered delegating from the get-go. I think it's something that you just frustratingly have to learn through bad experiences. But hopefully, watching this, you'll be able to capitalize off my bad experiences and accelerate your career. Well, hopefully. Anyway, so the advice that I would give is absolutely you have to learn how to delegate, because in business you're only as strong as the team that you surround yourself with. You can't do everything yourself. And if you don't delegate, long story short, you burn out, you crash. And if you're the only person that's doing any of the tasks and you burn out and you crash, your business comes to a standstill. Anybody that you're working with, the work doesn't get done for them. And as I said, your whole business just implodes. And I think for any entrepreneur, probably the most motivating the nicest thing as an entrepreneur that you can do is build a business that ultimately becomes independently led, growing and profitable, free from yourself. I think that's the absolute aim as an entrepreneur. Create a business, get it set up, get it running, get it led, growing and profitable, independent of yourself, so that you can move on, capitalize on all the lessons you've learned and apply yourself to a new project. That's the absolute key. So the real first kind of step there is delegating. And the frustrating thing about delegating in your first steps is that you will think nobody can do the job better than yourself. And initially speaking, when you do impart the job onto somebody else, that is true. However, if you give somebody the opportunity to specialize or focus in on one thing that you do, if they keep doing that over and over and apply themselves to that and focus in on that, very soon they'll be able to do that better than you ever could, because you would be spread over multiple tasks, whereas they would be focused on that given task. So in the short term, delegating can be very, very challenging, but in the long term, it leads to ultimate success. So you have to trust people. You have to be allowing to spend a little bit more time than it would take you yourself to show them and give them an opportunity to get started. You can't come down on them like a ton of bricks when they make a little mistake. You have to be there to foster them and support them. And then when ultimately you give them the task, you have to step back and actually let them do the task. And we have to be willing to kind of repeat the exercise 3, 4, 5 times till the person takes the reins of that and can do it, as I said, better than yourself. And you have to then discipline yourself going forward to keep delegating it and not undermine the progress that they've been making by doing it yourself. So that, for me, are the key steps in delegating. You then repeat that over and over and over again, all the time being very, very conscious not to undermine the work that you're imparting by jumping in and doing it yourself, but actually stepping back and forcibly keeping yourself back. And the way I think to do that, or to motivate yourself, is on 2 things. Realizing that the end will justify the means, in that if you keep imparting and delegating, you'll give people that responsibility, that area to focus in on that and ultimately do it better than yourself, so you can step away and get to that kind of entrepreneurial promised land of owning a business that's independently growth focused, led and profitable of yourself. So that's the key to motivate yourself, to pull yourself back and allow others around you to do it for you.